Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hola Mundo! I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another edition of CPU, which is short for Chris Pirillo. You decide what the U is short for, because you are the only U I care about. Should I have said Mundo Hola? Or Munda Hola? Hola Munda? The last time I got a healthy dose of Spanish was when I was in high school. Lucky for me, my wife is rather fluent, although she doesn't always choose to translate live, and that's okay, because we speak English to one another, unless she's really mad at me, and then the Spanish comes out. I can understand a little Spanish, or pequeño. Well, obviously, I need a little bit of help, which is exactly why I bought this when I was in Germany. I'm not saying I tried to speak Spanish in Germany, it's just that, well, I needed some kind of translation tool because I don't understand a lick of German. But I do love licking German food. For me, the German language might as well be Spanish, because I understand each one equally as well. I decided to get this tool in a day and age when the iPhone didn't exist. But even this came with apps, and it still works. For those of you missing the physical keyboard, look at that, it comes attached. Hello, world. Hola. I got that part right. Yeah! It talks, and I figured at some point I may need to translate a word that otherwise I wouldn't be able to say, and you do not want to hear my German. And once again, to clarify, I understand that Spanish is not German. Mis ojos aren't what they used to be, so just in case the contrast, which you can adjust, is not enough for you, you can also toggle the backlight. The Gadget certainly supports a variety of languages: English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Polish, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. Polish? Are you sure? That's like the hot dog. Okay, Polish. But see, in English, Polish is spelled exactly like polish. It seems I may need to polish up on more than just my Spanish. Believe it or not, this would be considered an elegant device back in the day. It has a lot of buttons, and the usability is a little... not very usable, but you know what? It worked. To the point where I could still use it today, and it even has MP3 support with a headphone jack. It even supported voice memos. I'm telling you, this was a pretty powerful gadget. And it also has built-in games like Memory, Hangman, and Magic Lottery. None of them are like the games that you're probably used to playing on your portable devices. The keyboard supported pretty much every single character you might need to use in a translation tool that supports the languages that I referred to. You didn't need to connect it to the internet because back in the day, you really couldn't connect a lot of things to the internet. And that was the beauty. You could take this translation tool as long as you had it charged up by way of USB with the internal battery that was rechargeable. Obviously, because that's kind of how it charged. There were no removable batteries and no need to get on Wi-Fi. It was pretty much an all-in-one device, and while we still connected to the internet back when I bought this tool, we didn't really have Wi-Fi, or at least not as available as it's certainly become these days. The battery recharged by way of USB, and some decade later, it still recharges. And let's hope you never have to say this.
Rufen Sie den Krankenwagen.
Rufen Sie den Krankenwagen. Krankenwagen? Isn't that what my parents drive? Plus, there's a built-in calculator. I'm telling you, it had everything that you might have possibly needed if you happened to be a business traveler overseas, or specifically in working with people who didn't speak your language. These are the kind of devices that I grew up with. Plus, it comes packed with a list of conversation starters. It's got a built-in clock, alarm, and a built-in unit conversion tool. You may not think of buying one of these anymore, but I still have it laying around, if only for a backup, if I happen to be traveling to an area of the world that doesn't necessarily speak English. They really don't make gadgets like these anymore. Everything's been replaced with an app, which is fine by me because apps are far more affordable and far more usable. It's kind of funny to me. I mean, a lot of my older gadgets have lost value over time because they've become outdated, but this really hasn't. Of course, compared to today's standards, it's a little antiquated, but it still gets the job done. Here's the German word for bonsai.
Bonsai.
I think I can remember that. Some words just don't need translation, but most of a foreign language will remain foreign to me probably for the rest of my life. Out of all the gadgets I had that have been long replaced by smartphone and tablet apps, this is one of the very few that I held on to. I probably have a few others laying around as well. I've said just about everything I've wanted to say about the TGA 490, but if you know of any other retro stuff you'd like me to look at, let me know. I will leave you with these words.
Wie viel Uhr ist das Abendessen?
Can you translate it? Good luck. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.